Welcome everyone to this special episode of LAMP Leadership Advancements Mentorship Podcast. I have with me today a very unique personality. He's a dynamic leader and also an author and a Maxwell Leadership speaker, coach, and trainer all the way from Sweden. Without wasting time, welcome with me, Coach Simon. Coach Simon, how are you?
Thank you, Dr. Michael. Yeah, love to be here. It's a bit late here in Sweden, but it's chilly. But I love to be in the heat of LAMP and the global community that you have.
Okay, yeah, welcome. And Coach Simon, we just want to say thank you for you being here today. You have an opportunity to be in different places, but you choose to be right here to add value to our leadership community. And just tell people who is Simon Moritz. Tell us something about yourself. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Well, I guess I learned something from Vanessa Van Edwards. I'm a recovering awkward person. And I guess what I mean with that is that sometimes it's a bit difficult to tell what you are doing. I've been in tech and AI and machine learning for 18 years. But
Mm.
then no one, never got a follow-up question. But then last year I started to write a book, the PICKAXE Principles, and now I can claim I'm an author. And I got so many better questions and follow-up questions. So I'm trying to recover from being this awkward person that didn't get a follow-up question.
Wow. When you say awkward, what does that mean? Because today we are really going to be having some leadership conversation. So how does awkward person is related to being a leadership coach, speaker, and trainer that you are now?
Oh, thank you. But I think we are sometimes it's we are as leader. I'm thinking like a classical radio program. Before you, as a consumer, were about to tune in to your favorite station and listening to your favorite radio program.
Mhm.
But when it comes to leadership, I think it's the other way around. It's us that are transmitting a message. We are supposed to transmit and then change our frequency so that the audience can listen. So we are supposed to then change to what they are kind of adapted to listen to, which frequencies. And if you are awkward or if you are out of tune, then you are miscommunicating. So what I mean by recovering is that trying then to hit the frequency again so that you can establish a connection from the Alice to the Bobs, from the transmitter to the consumer, from the leader to the people that should follow.
Wow. I just got some light bulb moment from what you just talked about now. And what you're describing, it's something that Dr. John Maswell talked about in his book, Leader Shift. He mentioned 11 kind of shift that leaders need to do in order to be adaptable to changes. And one of those things that really capture what you just talked about is from directing to connecting.
I
And
love
it's
it.
that you, if you want to lead people, you need to, get away from where you are to where they are. And
Ah,
it's
exactly.
directing them, you are connecting them, that you have to find the people first to lead them. So that's what you just described
Absolutely.
now.
And
And
adding to that, I think also John's book, Everyone Communicates,
yeah,
Few Connects, is a
exactly.
beautiful one because we are
Yeah.
transmitting all the time, but we are not
Mm.
always connecting. So
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
leadership and then everyone communicates, few connects.
Yeah, and that's just the same thing that I was talking about. Because yeah, in the book, everyone communicate, few connect. Is all about how we can get away from just communicating to connecting because everyone is communicating. Communicating is what everybody do, but the real connection is what make communication effective.
Hmm.
And I like the way he described connecting in his book, Everyone Communicate, Few Connect. He said, connecting is the ability to identify and relate with people in a way that you can influence them, and
Wow.
that's,
Yes,
yeah. And that's what
exactly.
connecting is. Because if you can identify and relate with people, if you can connect with people, you can influence them. So, and this is what our even today's podcast, we calling it from directing to connecting. Yeah,
Yeah, love
that's
it.
that's what leaders needs to do, because we can't lead people if we stay in our own world. We have to step out of our own world
Mm,
into their own world. And that's
yeah,
what you just captured.
thank
And
you.
so we're still coming back to this title. So I want to ask you a question. At
Yeah.
what moment in your life did you uh became aware of your leadership potential? At what point that you
I
just
just came to my mind. I was telling you maybe the moment when I got my little brothers.
oh,
So,
what time was that? Is
yeah,
it
I
two
was
years
two and
ago
a
or
half
20
years
years ago
of
or
age.
50 years ago?
No, yeah, well, 42 years ago, when I was 2.5 years of age, and I got my brothers, and of course I tried them to
So
manipulate them.
you the firstborn?
I'm the first one, yes, I am. So,
Okay.
and
So
they did not like my leadership style.
so yeah. So that means you became aware of your leadership at 2.5 year old when you have a new baby brother?
Yes, yes. And they are twins. So we
They're
are
twins.
three people very close, like one 18 months apart. So we were very
Okay.
close. And of course, since they are twins, they were very tightly connected. So I was like two against one. So I had a sort of an uphill to walk, but it was so love it. But we are very good friends, and we even been staying together after we left mom and dad at home as well. So
Wow, wow.
but
So
it's a tough lesson.
it's just three of you. Yeah, so you and the twins.
Yeah.
Your parents they didn't have any other kid apart from that.
No, we are the three of us, and we look the same.
Wow,
The
wow.
same
So they
haircut.
are, oh, are they boys too? Are they
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
okay, so now question. So you said you became aware of your leadership when you were 2.5 year old. Is that for real?
Maybe, but a little bit because I had then to walk and I had to take my kind of own decisions and then lead my own way. But I think it's been growing, and I think I was not sort of. Yeah, I was trying to when I wrote my first book. I was planning to tell like have the title "How to Fail in 100 Ways."
Mm,
So I think I've been failing a lot in the leadership style. But another very big aha moment for leadership was when I was around 2019, and I went on a mission trip to Siberia in Russia. And then we were divided up in small groups, and we were traveling the very big Yenisei River. It's like the
mm,
fifth largest river complex in the world after the Nile and a few others.
mm,
And we were traveling, and then we were sort of having a dedicated team leader in each team. So we were 8 people in my team.
mm,
And then the pastor that was looking out for the crowd is a Russian pastor. We
mm,
were, maybe 100 different teams that should go out. He was looking to our team and then examine who should be the leader, who should be the leader.
mm,
And I was one of the youngest, but I was the only one with beard.
mm,
So my leadership style was that I looked apart. So there were clearly better people. I know this lady Lisa. She was around 26 years of age. She was working at Ericsson. She was a team leader. She had all the skills. She was a people person. And then we have this Kazakh dancing kind of guy. He was over 40 years of age, but he was retired, and but he didn't have a beard, and neither did Johan from Sweden. So I was the guy looking apart, looking like what they thought a leader should look like. So I got the task of being a leader, and that was a super difficult task with multicultural kind of conflicts and a lot of different challenges on the Yenisei River, freezing cold, only open 2 months a year, and but we all came back home alive, but with a very a whole book of adventure.
mm. So you were like 20 at that time?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you became a leader by appointment.
Yes, initially.
Okay, okay, okay. So, but at what point the after that experience, and when did you become more fully aware that, oh wow, this
Yeah,
is
after that experience, now also then from the military service, I learned, a lot of different challenges. And then I
mm,
went into a Bible Institute of London, the International
mm,
Bible Institute of London, and there we had my exam was on leadership. And then when I
mm,
turned 21, I got a mug from my friends, and that says, "A leader knows the way, goes the way, and chose the way.
mm,
Quote John C. Maxwell. And I had no
mm,
idea who this John was, but
mm,
it started to resonate with me that, of course, a leader need to know what they are doing. They need to know the
mm,
way. And of
mm,
course, they cannot lead to somewhere they haven't been. You know, you can coach people, but you should, if you lead them, you need to go the way as well.
mm,
You cannot just tell people. But then, lastly, the last part, which I think, which just I'm trying then to learn even more on, is to show the way.
mm,
Throughout the years, I think I learned a lot from university, from schools, from reading different books and examinations. I have a lot of education. I know I walk the way. I stumble, I fall, I make mistakes. I raise up again. I will keep on walking. But I've been terrible of showing the way. And
mm,
then John says as well, a leader without any followers is just a man having a walk.
mm,
So I think throughout my last 1 or 2 years, I've been actually kind of listening to this message even more and trying to see how do I show the way.
mm,
And that's also when it sparked to me, joining the John Maxwell family and the
mm,
coaches, which I did last year, spring 2024. And I was listening when I was doing the gym. I was listening to a podcast, and in the podcast, it was a commercial, and then said in the commercial was I think it was Mark Cole, and he was interviewing some people, and then they had a commercial saying, "Do you love the autonomy of having your own business and serving people while doing so?" And I said,
mm,
"Of course. What if I
mm,
can actually serve people and then
mm,
earn money in the same time? I love it.
mm,
Hit join the team or something." So
mm.
I just pressed, and then they called me up, and then eventually, I mean, I clicked the button and just did what Chris Robinson did. This is not him, by the way. This is a fake AI. I have the real Chris here.
Maybe you can change the one at the back then.
I'll try to do that, yes, later. He will
No,
kill me
maybe you
often.
can put Chris' book on top of it.
I'll try to, yeah, yeah, yeah. Here,
Yeah,
here's the
no,
real Chris. It's much more beautiful than this. But this is
yeah, I
just a
got you.
trigger. It's a trigger.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that's when I learned all the team, and that's also what I got to know you, Dr. Michael. It's such an honor to get to know you and the whole team, and
yeah.
also the passion that you have of not only knowing the way and going the way, but also showing the way with all your, I guess you have 10, 15 books that you have written. So you are great at doing the show part, and I'm trying to sort of learn on that.
Wow. Thank you, Coach Simon. Thank you. In fact, just listening to you, I'm just learning. I like to, because we learn better when we listen. I just, because I want people to just hear your leadership journey. So you now became aware of that leadership potential from that mission trip when you were 20, then 21. You said you saw that quote by Dr. John Maxwell that a leader is the one that knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. And that stood out to you until you now begin to. So that means, and that you really helped me with the second question, next question I want to ask, because awareness is the first step to change.
Mm,
Because when you become aware, and then change and can definitely happen. So, um, you became aware of that leadership potential. John Maswell wrote a book called "Developing the Leaders Within You."
mm,
Until that book comes out, some people thought leadership is not for them. That
mm,
is for some people. Oh, those people, they feel that, oh, leaders are born, they are not made. I came up with the concept sometime last year. I've always believed that to be true. It's called
mm.
life. That's life is an acronym. And that life means, I love acronym.
Yeah, of course, yes, yeah, titles.
That life means leadership is for everyone.
Ah,
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. And we had a conference this June that just passed like 5 months ago. And for women, we were highlighting women in leadership. And
mm,
so it's called Women and Ablaze and Global Leadership Conference. And that
wow,
is the focus of it. Leadership's for everyone. I've always believed that because in life, we have to believe in life. We have
yes,
to believe that leadership is for everyone. I mean,
of
either you're a
course.
little kid, there's a little kid called Katie. Katie was coming with a parent. They were coming from church. So Katie was sitting in the back, and the mom and dad, they were in the front. And Katie began to tell the dad, said, Dad, when I grow up, I want to be like that man. So, of course, they were just coming from church. Oh, the dad said, Oh, you want to be a pastor? He said, No, that's not what I mean. Oh, which man are you talking about? Of course, Katie was referring to the pastor. Oh, then they were like puzzled, like, if you don't want to be a pastor, why are you referring to that man? He said, I want to tell everybody what to do. Because
That's a good one.
I'm, Kenny was just coming from church, and they said the pastor tell everybody sit down, everybody sit
Yeah,
down,
exactly.
everybody
Yeah,
stand
yeah,
up, they stand up. Oh, she like you, like wow, wow. If this is what leadership is all about, I want to tell everybody what to do.
yeah. She
But
forgot the story about Jesus washing the feet.
yeah, yeah, but as Katie began to grow up, that is the leaders. That's what she thought leadership was. That
Yeah,
it's telling
yeah,
everybody what to do. But later on,
yeah.
what view begin to change. She that realized that leadership is not telling people what to do. So that's what many people think. Many people are still thinking like Katie. But the
Mm.
thing is, leadership is for everyone. So,
Yes, yes, yes.
tell us, what did you do to develop that leadership gift?
Mm.
Sure.
So
Now that
I
you
think
have discovered, yeah,
I think it's a great one. I think another good book adding to that that John wrote last year or something like The High Road Leader, and I've
yeah,
been sort of walking through that a lot. And in my book, I basically read I read most of the John's books, but then he quotes a lot of people and then takes the best. And I said, how hard can that be? So I'll try to do the same thing. So I quote John a lot, Chris Robinson. I have Rod Galbraith. I have Simon Sinek, James Clear,
mm,
a lot of the different, great people around the world. But in the high road leaders is like how you're becoming a servant-based leader. And
mm,
throughout my years, I've been working with AI, machine learning technology. I was at Ericsson Research for 9 years. And then I jumped ship into the business world and I was working with business development, architecture, then sales, and then partnering with the big, global system integrators. What I saw is actually a challenge, and the challenge is on silos. And a lot of times we are not serving. We have forgot sort of what business is all about. It's like Simon Sinek says, you can be a finite game or an infinite game.
yeah,
A finite game is like chess. You're playing to beat the competition. But in business and in life, and I love that kind of acronym, life is leadership is for everyone. It's like in life and in leadership and in business, we can stay ahead of competition, but we're not supposed to beat the competition. The game is keep on playing. And I love that. And he has a great name, by the way, as well, Simon Simon Sinek.
yeah. Oh, Simon said, yeah, it's a
So,
great, yeah. I
yeah,
just
but
ordered the book.
serving people, I love that. So I think that is all about in leadership and how can we serve. And if we don't super optimize towards the quarterly reports and money in too many companies are to an end, so the means to an end, which instead the money should be the fuel to help us go further and do more and serve more. And the business we should do is to serve, whether we are in the leadership kind of business or we are entrepreneurs or we're building this new technology or this new app. That app, like Steve Jobs says, there is an app for that. There's an app for everything. The app is supposed to do something good for the society or for people around you.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes we miss that, and a part of that is lack of leadership. There are managers trying to manage and keep everything as is,
Mm.
status quo. But leaders knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. And I think we are adaptable to change, and we are
Yeah.
hungry for change, and we want to see a consistent growth to more.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. Just listening to you, just talking about leadership is all about serving people. And that is what the service is the heart of leadership. In fact, one of the book that I wrote is on servant leadership. It's called
Oh,
the
yeah.
Area Code. Yeah. So one of my book is called the Area Code.
Yeah.
Is focused on servant leadership. So what I'm getting from you is when you discover that leadership potential at 20, Then at 21, you saw that quote by John Maxwell. And then you started reading books until last year when you were listening to a podcast by McCall. McCall is the CEO of the Maxwell Leadership Enterprise. And you now want to uh, invest in yourself, and you now join
Mm.
the
Mm.
Maxwell leadership team and to further to develop your leadership potential. I just want people to just hear that part,
Mm.
because it's good for you as you listen to us, you watching us, and to be aware of your leadership potential. And I want to tell you, if you are not aware yet, we want to highlight it that leadership is for you, it's for everyone. You have
Absolutely.
the
Yeah.
leadership potential inside of you. And what makes you a leader is your gift.
Mm.
You can lead, you can lead with what you have. So, for instance, if you bought a Apple phone, iPhone now, of course, you following someone. You following,
Mm.
the Apple computers. You following the company, started by Steve Jobs. So whatever you buy, like say you buy a soap, you buy whatever you buy, name the product. If you order something from Amazon, you're following Jeff Bezos, because
Mm.
he was leading in that area. So you too, you have something inside of you. If you
Yeah.
wrote a book and people buy the book, they are reading your book and following your principle. They are following you. So that means everyone can lead from within. You can lead with your
Absolutely.
gift. So we are
Tell
not
us also about the three levels of leadership that we have in the Maxwell family.
okay.
Like,
Talk about it.
yeah, I mean, leading ourselves and I guess leading the community around us and leading others. What was the first one? I lead myself. What was the second one? Do you
Well, the what you're talking about is well, I think leadership begins with self, leading yourself first.
self? Yeah.
Yeah, because if you don't lead yourself, you don't earn the right to lead others. So you have to lead yourself first for other people to follow you. Yeah, really, yeah. So leading yourself comes first, then other people now want to follow your leadership, and then also you can lead. I mean, you can lead in your family, you can lead in any area where you are, but the point about leadership is not about position, it's more about your disposition, it's your ability to persuade people to
Mm.
follow you. So there are two ways
Mm.
to lead. You can lead by inspiration or by manipulation.
Mm.
So when you lead by inspiration, you are leading others to their own advantage.
Mm.
But when you lead by manipulation, you are leading people to
Mm.
your own advantage.
Mm.
Yeah. So that is what makes a good leader different from a bad leader.
Mm.
So
Mm.
a bad leader leads people by manipulation to
Yeah.
its own advantage. That's what Hitler did. Yeah.
Yeah.
But a good leader like Nelson Mandela and other great leaders that we've read about, they lead people to their own advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the time's sake,
I like the slogan that we have. We are leaders of value who
yeah,
add values to leaders that
yeah,
multiply values to others. So
yeah,
I guess those are the three: leading yourself,
mhm,
leading others, and
yeah,
helping them lead
yeah,
yet others. And also
exactly.
adding to what you said about Mark Cole. So one of the things that his podcast was triggering me to join the team, and he has a number of great quotes. But one of the quotes that I love most from Mark is "Proximity matters."
Yeah, yes, it
I
does.
love that, and that's why I'm so happy, Dr. Michael, that I can join this team. And though we are distant in space, we are close
Yeah,
here on the online kind of Zoom
yeah,
call.
yeah. And based on what you just mentioned about proximity, and I think that proximity, it's really counts when we talk about mentorship. So
Mm.
I want us to focus on how has mentorship influenced your life positively?
Yeah, I think that is super important to have a great mentors, and sometimes we are making it a bit too complicated. I've been thinking about mentorship like at least for the 20, 30 years, and how do I invest in mentors and stuff. And then I forgot that I had, my dad and my mom is great mentors to myself. I get a lot of inspiration, and also not necessarily only kind of talk, but also the way they are living their lives. And we can, I can just follow them and see how they can, their life thrives in so many different dimensions. But then also that you can have mentorship through books, and
Yeah.
even you can be mentored through a distance. You don't necessarily always need to be in the same room. So I learned a lot from a
Mm.
lot of people, and I'm learning now from Rissa and from so many people here in the bookshelf, from you, Dr. Michael, and so you can learn from so many different people, and then from experience.
Mm.
I used to say to my kids that either they can learn from my mistake or they can make their own mistake. So I like this. We have intelligence, we have IQ, intelligence
Mm.
quotient, and then you have emotional EQ.
Mm.
But
Yep.
then you have also failing FQ, failing quotient, and I think we can learn from our own failure, but even
Mm.
better if we can learn from other failures and then invent new failures to ourselves. So we will always keep on failing on something, but let's not just fail, but let's fail forward. So sometimes
Mm.
we win, sometimes we learn. But if we do see our failing as also a mentorship thing, so I think we can learn from so many different things. But then having people, coaches, mentors that can speak in life to you really close makes even better difference. And I want to do a shout out to my mentor Roddy Galbraith as well for speaking. I
Yeah.
think the way that he opened up his life and his family and being vulnerable in so many different
Mm.
dimensions, and also helping us communicate so that we are not just communicating but actually connecting to the people. So
Mm.
shout out to you,
Wow.
to Rod and everyone else that helped me so much.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, that's great. We just want people, we just want to highlight. One of the book I wrote is called The Mentorship Advantage, and that was my 11th book, and I
Wow.
highlight why mentorship matters. I believe that's why even in this podcast it's called Leadership Advancement and Mentorship Podcast because I that. So no matter who you are, as you listen to us now, I want you to know that mentorship matters. And you can go to my YouTube channel. I did a topic on the mentorship advantage. So
Wow.
yeah, so you can get more right there. I'm just saying this to everyone viewing, but this time we just want to highlight that you need mentorship. I mean, you don't have to be close to someone, and proximity is not all about being in the same room, and but it's all about making every effort. The world is like a village now to be close. For instance, there are
Mm.
two people I listen to every day. Every day I like to listen to Jim Rohn.
Mm.
Every day I like to listen to Les Brown. I've listened to both of them today. They inspire me. They make me to see things in a different way. I also like to listen to Dr. John Maswell too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about from directing to connecting and
Mm.
from directing to connecting because uh, leadership is all about influence. And you can't influence people until you connect with them.
Mm. Mm.
And because, like we said at the beginning, everyone is communicating,
Mm.
and but only few are connecting.
Mm.
And this is what somebody said, the difference between communicating and connecting. He said communicating is just
Mm.
sharing information. He
Yeah.
said, but connecting is sharing humanity.
Mm. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, yeah. So let me just give an example for everyone listen to me. There was this professor. He was teaching in the class, and one of the students came in, and the student already sent a message to the professor, and because she had a baby in the course of being in school, and she couldn't get a babysitter, and the assistant professor said, "Oh, don't miss class because of that. You can come, bring your baby, and come to the class." So
Mm.
she felt awkward to come to the class with the baby, and but the assistant professor doesn't want her to miss the class. So when she came to the class with the baby, guess what the assistant professor did? And she took the baby from her and strapped it in his chest, and the baby was just sleeping, and the man was giving he was teaching,
Oh,
and everybody was fine. Baby was fine. Baby wasn't making no noise.
oh
Baby
wow.
just slept off. And so what the man did was connecting,
Wow.
because connecting is identifying with people
Mm.
in a way. that we is identifying and relating with people in
Mm.
the way that we increase your influence. Of course, he became the assistant professor, became a person of influence till she graduated, because at that time, having a baby in college, so it was a really rough time. So the day she was graduating, she was talking about the assistant professor, how he made the journey easier. So this is what
Wow.
he did. So he went from directing to connecting. So,
Wow.
Coach Simmons, tell us how have you experienced that directing to connecting in your life as a leader?
I think another good lesson in how to connect is people when they know, like, and trust us, and
Yes.
then we are connecting. So I think not until they know, like, and trust us, and the way to build trust, I think, comes from vulnerability and
Mm,
making so-called vulnerability loops. So I share something, maybe funny or a bit sad or something that I'm vulnerable, saying like, well, I screwed up or I did this bad or whatever. And then maybe you mention something, and then I mention something, and then all of a sudden we could start to create trust. So we are becoming a little bit more transparent. And I love the way that you said we are, what did you say? Humanized. So we are making us human. And I
mm,
think even more so in the age of AI and the AI FOMO, we have fear of missing out in AI. We have so many fake news. We have so many, polished, whatever, social media and stuff. I think we need to be a bit raw and vulnerable, sharing not everything with filters, not everything
mm,
with the kind of back. I'm screwing up today, having this kind of fake backgrounds. So I think we need to, share a bit more of those challenges that we are experiencing, because then we are
mm,
relatable, and I think people feel that none is perfect, but sometimes we project ourselves as being too perfect, and not only in church. I mean, sometimes they claim that Christians and people in church and maybe the pastor, they are so perfect, they're trying to portray something that is impossible to reach. But I
mm,
think one of the best leaders is actually Jesus, and he was the friends of sinners. He was
mm,
he was making from water to wine, and he was washing people's feet. He did a lot of crazy stuff, and but he was vulnerable, and he was crying with people that was sad, and he
mm.
was sharing people that was happy, of course. I think we need to share life with people, and
Yeah.
when we do,
Yeah.
then we become human, and
Yeah.
when we are human, that's when we connect.
Wow. Well, I love what you said. I just love the analogy that you gave, because what you're saying, that there are two ways, when you are relating with people, you can either impress people or impact them. So
Yes.
impressing people is sharing your successes, what you have achieved and all that.
Mm,
So, and what that does, it widens the gap between you and people.
mm,
What you want to do to connect with people is you want to close the gap. How do you close the gap? You close the gap by sharing your failures, your and your fumbles and your flops. Those three F:
yeah.
your failures, your fumbles, and your flops.
Oh.
Yeah, because this is how you impact people. Let me give you case in point in my own life. I like to share my transformation story on reading books. I mean, I love to read. So when I was in medical school, training to be a physician, because based on the demand of the profession, I was an avid reader and all that. So, and I kept that momentum when I left medical school. But after some time, I lost it. I wasn't
Mm,
consistent as a reader the way I was. Because in medical school, I didn't just read medical books. I was reading inspirational books. I'm the kind of person is will be reading Zig Ziglar, reading John Maxwell books and all that books, because I was just growing myself. So, but like I said, at the point I lost that momentum. So it now came to a point in which I'm going to hold a book. I won't be able to read it
mm,
for days, for weeks. Days become weeks, and we become months.
mm.
And every one of us has know this, feeling in which you don't really like some. I was just stuck.
Yeah.
Then I began. I go to my barber. He's from Vietnam, and twice a week and twice a month. So anytime I go to him, so, oh, you used to reading this book. You used to reading this book, and just imagine someone telling you because he's seeing the same book with me. And then one day I said, well, I need to keep this man quiet. So I didn't finish the book because I was still stuck. I
Oh.
went with a different book.
Mm.
So when he saw a different book, he was quiet. My conscience came alive,
Oh.
and my conscience began to tell me that you are a fraud. You deceived the barber. I said, I
Oh.
didn't say anything. Say you don't have to say anything. You did something. You went with a different book.
Oh.
And that day I said, no, I don't want to live this way again. So I'm
Yeah.
going to find a good system to read until I
Okay.
found a better system to read. And I started with one book, then two book, three book. Today I'm reading 11 books every day now. I
Well,
don't,
sorry, take it
I,
again. Every day?
yeah, 11 books. I don't finish it. So what I do is I read from 11 books. My primary book that I'm reading at the moment is called Succeeding Against All Odds.
Oh,
It's a biography of a man, John H. Johnson, the man
yeah.
who started the
Yeah.
Ebony magazine. Yeah. So I spend 30 minutes on that book. 30
Wow.
minutes every morning. The rest of the book, I spend 10 minutes on them. And
Wow.
my goal is to read five and one page in 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the plan. And like I said, I started with one, and after I got that one perfected, second book, third book until it became 11 books every day. Yeah, but
Can't you just put all the books into ChatGPT or some AI tool and then get the summary?
now this is it. This is the point I want to make, and I want everybody to get it because we about wrapping up now. The
Yeah.
point I want to make is this. You know where I started from? I didn't start by telling people that, oh, I read 11 books. I started by sharing my story on how I
Yeah.
was struggling with one book for a long time. So this
Mm.
is what we're talking about. So
Yes.
you can connect with people if all you share is your success story.
Mm.
Start with your struggles, something you struggle about, and how you are able to overcome it.
Mm. Yes.
So
Yes.
people can relate with that. That makes the human part of us. Wow, Coach Simon, it's been a great time. We can
Thank you.
continue on and on and on.
Yeah.
What was the last word you want to give people about directing to connecting?
Yeah, I think we should look it from the other way around. So when we connect, like you mentioned in the beginning as well, it's not about us, especially if we are leaders and if
Yeah,
or like we are presenting on a stage.
yeah,
Let's think of it from the other perspective. What are
yeah.
we serving them with, and how do we actually connect it? It's not we are not communicating until, it's not what I'm saying, but what you hear, which is important.
Mm,
So
mm,
that's when we are connecting. So then
yeah.
we're going from directing to
To
connecting.
connect. And I like what you said. The law of connection, according to John Maxwell said, is all about others.
Mm,
Connection is all about others.
mm,
You know, they are if you I will want to refer you to the book, Everyone Communicate, Feel Connect. It shared five connecting principles
mm,
and five connecting practices. You
mm,
know, and this one of the principle is connecting is all about others.
mm.
And one of the practices is, about talking about connecting that great connectors connect on common ground. So you have to
Yeah,
find what do you have in common with
yeah.
that person. So,
Mm.
and when you find the common ground, it is easy to comment. Now, let me just close with this. When people meet with others, they don't know how to connect. So let me just give you a hack on how to
Haha.
connect to
Yes.
someone that you just met. Maybe you met the person at a networking meeting. How do you connect with the person? So I just give this acronym. It's called FORM. FORM. It's like you are filling a form,
Mm-hmm.
and this is like an icebreaker to connecting. So ask the person about their family.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, family. You can connect better to people because that's being related. Everybody has a family. Either the person is married or not. It came from somewhere. It didn't fall down from the palm tree. We all ask the people about their occupation. Oh, what
Yeah.
do you do for a living? Yeah, what do you do for a living? Yeah. So then the R is recreation.
Mm.
Recreation. That means tell the person out of work. How do you spend your time? About your recreation. How do you spend your time outside of work?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do outside of your work? What do you
Yeah.
enjoy doing? So then the last one is M, mission.
Ah,
M is
mission.
about mission. Yeah, everybody has a mission. Everybody has a mission that tell the person that if you have all the money in this world, what change would you like to see in the world?
Yeah.
And by the time you do these four things, you're already connecting.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay,
It's a
Cosimo,
good
can you tell
trick. Yeah.
people where to find you, please? How can people find you?
Yes, simonmoritz.com is maybe the easiest to spell, or pickaxeprinciples.com from the book. That's the or LinkedIn, Simon Moritz as well. So that's
Okay,
easy.
wow.
Yeah.
It's been great
Thank you.
having you right now. Thank you so much. And I want you
Thank
to
you,
know
Dr. Michael.
we really appreciate you. And to our viewers, I believe you got a lot from this leadership conversation. It's all about you. And don't forget, connecting is all about others. And as leaders, we need to go from directing to connecting, in order
Yes.
to lead people effectively. Till I come your way with another great leader. Next time, don't forget, it's not enough to learn. We need to apply. Because
Yes.
application is the key to transformation. See you next time.
See you.
Bye bye.